Hello friends, welcome to our next lecture. In this we are going to look at a new topic called linear inequalities. Okay, so look at the two terms used in this. One is the word linear, the other is the word inequalities. All of us know that the word linear means we have an equation, let's say x plus y is equal to 4. This is an example of a linear equation in two variables. Okay, this is linear because the power of x is 1, the power of y is also 1. This is linear equation. Okay, why is this called an equation? Because of this equal to, because when we add the value of x and y, it will be equal to 4. So let us go to the second term. Then what does the word inequality mean? It means that x plus y is not equal to 4, right? So what happens when it is not equal to 4? When it is not equal to 4, x plus y can be greater than 4 or x plus y can be less than 4. So we are going to look at these kind of scenarios. Scenarios where the variables are linear and there is an inequation. There is no equation. We are not equating it to anything. There is an inequation. Okay. So these kind of scenarios we are going to look at. Now, what are the type of questions that will come for you? There are two types of questions that will come, or rather three types. Under type 1, what you will have is okay. Under type 1, you will be given a region in the question. Okay, and in the options, you will have equations. You will have to identify which of the equations represent this region. Which of these equations represent the region given in the question. In the next type, you will have equations given in the question and they will be region given in the options. So you will have to select which region represents the above set of equations. Okay. Third type will be optimization problem. Optimization problem at an elementary level. Okay, optimization problem at an elementary level or at a very simple level. So this will be like a word problem where the solution will be in the form of various equations. This is actually a word problem where the solution will be various equations. Okay. So these are the different types of problems we are going to look at. Okay. So let us start with in your textbooks, open exercise 3A. Let's start with this. You might be wondering why I'm not giving you any theory for you to note down or anything. You don't have to note down any theory. Just using logic. When I'm doing the problems, you will see how I'll fit this into one of the three types. And just using logic, we are going to solve. And that is going to make it very, very easy for you. Okay. So now let us look at question number 1. An employer recruits experienced X and freshman Y for his firm. So you have two variables here. In question number 1, first part, you have the column X and you have the column Y. What does X variable represent? Experienced. What does Y represent? Freshers. Okay. So always you will have two variables X and Y, like how we have seen, X is a function of, Y is a function of X. So Y is equal to X plus something, a linear function. Okay. So only thing is we are not going to have an equal to, we will have a greater than or a less than symbol. Now what else does the question say? An employer is recruiting both experienced and fresh workmen for his firm under the condition that he cannot employ more than 9 people. So he can employ a maximum of how many people? 9 people only. So he can employ experienced and freshman put together 9 people at the max. So the number of people he will employ will be either equal to 9 or less than 9. So this will be the answer. Is it easy? So it's only logic. So see, in this question you had to find the equation. Okay, they give you there is a word problem and you have to find the equation. So this kind of comes under type 3. Type 3 is going to be not only optimization problem, that will be the highest difficulty level. These are all the lower difficulty levels where you will have simple word problems and you have to identify the equation. So here if you come, so do you have that equation? Not equal to 9 is fine, but specifically it is less than or equal to 9. And one more thing that you should note in this option is x is greater than or equal to 0, y is greater than or equal to 0. This is a very important. Additionally, this also is to be written down here. These are called as non-negativity constraints. Non-negativity constraints. I'll explain the meaning of this to you. See, what are we dealing with? We are dealing with recruiting people, right? That is experienced people and freshers. So can x and y ever be negative? No, it cannot take negative values. So we have to specifically state that. So how do we state that? We can state that by saying x will be greater than 0 and y will be greater than 0. It could be 0 also. That person, this recruiter, can decide not to employ any fresher or any experienced. Then y will take the value 0 or x may take the value 0. But it can take the value 0, but it cannot take any value less than 0. Therefore, x is greater than or equal to 0, y is greater than or equal to 0 is an important non-negativity constraint. It is to be always mentioned. So if you have two options, suppose one option, see here, you have less than or equal to 9 is given. There is another option which is also giving this, but without the non-negativity. Do not choose that option. This is important. So answer is option B here. Answer is option B. Let's go to the next question. Okay, we'll do it a bit slowly because you're just getting introduced to the topic. Come to the next one. On the average, experienced person does 5 units of work, while a fresh one does 3 units of work daily. But the employer has to maintain at least, underline the word at least here, at least 30 units of work per day. This situation can be expressed as, so you see, if I employ one, okay, come to the experienced column which is represented by x, if come to the freshman column which is represented by y, if I employ one experienced person also, he is capable of doing 5 units. If I employ one freshman also, he is capable of doing 3 units. So totally, when I employ one freshman and one experienced, I may get 5, 3, totally 8 units of work done. So, but how many units I need? Minimum, I need a 30. So, if I am employing x number of people, each person will do 5. So, 5 into x is 5x is the total amount of work done. Okay, one person will do 5 units of work. So, x number of people will do 5 into x. Similarly, one person will do 3 units of work, and therefore, when I employ y number of people, they will do 3 units of work per person. So, 5x plus 3y is the total work done. Total work done. Okay, and this total work done, what is the condition? It has to be at least 30, which means this value should be greater than or equal to 30. Okay, so please note the words used in the question. It says the number of units to be produced is at least. When I say at least, I am saying greater than or equal to 30. So I need minimum 30 or more than 30. In the previous question, he said he can't employ more than, not more than, underline those words, not more than 9, which means I should employ at the max 9 or below that 9. Okay, that is why I am using less than or equal to symbol. Are we clear? So this is the answer. Now look at the options. Less than, no. Greater than, no. Greater than or equal to 30 plus the non-negativity constraints. So option C is my answer. Option C is my final answer. Okay, let's go to next part, part 3. The rules and regulations demand that the employer should employ not more than 5 experienced hands to 1 fresh one, and this fact can be expressed as what? Okay, so just go through the question once again in your head and try to understand. So if I employ 1 fresh person for every fresh person I recruit, for example, let me write it like this. I have the experienced people X, I have the fresh people Y. So if I employ 1 fresh person, what does the question say? Not more than 5. So I can employ 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1. Okay, so which means this number 1, whenever I recruit 1 person, at the max I can recruit 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1. Okay, so what I should do is, this is the smaller number and a single number. So this number, when will this number be equal to this? When I recruit 1 person and I recruit 1 experienced person. Suppose I recruit 1 freshman and I recruit 2, then it becomes 2y. Suppose I recruit 1 freshman and I recruit 3 experienced persons, then it becomes 3 times of y, so 3y. Suppose I recruit 1 freshman and I decide to recruit 4, then this value is nothing but 4 times y or 4y. So I can say, if I recruit 5 people and 1 freshman, then it is equal to 5y. Okay, so 5y will be the value of the number of experienced people I can recruit maximum. Okay, so on this side I have the y value or the freshman. So how many freshmen can I recruit? So here I have x. Okay, so maximum I can recruit 5. So which means this will be equal to that. Okay, five y will be greater than or equal to x. Okay, how am I saying this? I hope I will just explain it once again, because this is a very confusing thing but not difficult. It's purely logical. Okay, you can definitely understand. So 5y, this symbol, understanding the symbol is very important. So x has to be less than or equal to 5y. How do I say that? What is 5 into 1? It is 5. Okay, 5 into 1 is 5. So 5y is 5. Okay, in this case my y value is 1. So my 5y value is 5. So look at column x column. X column is either 5 or equal to y, or it is less than that, or less. So x column is less than 5y or equal to 5y. Yes or no? X column, okay, look here. When I say x column, you should look here. X column is less than this number 5 or equal to that number 5. So that is what I am putting. X is less than 5 or equal to 5. Clear? Now let me look at the options. Now if you see in this, 5y is greater than or equal to x. This is matching with what we have come. However, in this question, they have brought it, this 5, they have brought it to the other side also in this option. So this is also correct. Okay, both are correct. So this is one question where option A or C both are correct. See, in your textbook, the options are given like that. However, in the examination, they never give you questions where 2 options will be correct. Normally, they give you only 1 option correct. So never select two options in the examination, that will lead to negative marking. So you should select only one option in the examination, and examination normally they take care to ensure that there is only one correct answer. Okay, so suppose there are two correct options, then there will be an option D which will say both A and C, then you will be taking only option D. Okay, that will be taken care, so be very careful about it in the examination. Now part 4 I am going to leave it for self practice. Okay, because it is similar to this question, this third part. So I want you to think about it and solve it on your own. Let's go to the next question. Okay, so this is the type of question that I was talking about, in where the equation is given. Okay, where the equation is given in the question and the region is given in the options. So I'll do this type 2 question and then we can move on to the next. Type 2 is part 4. Look at this option. Look at the equation. X plus y is less than or equal to 9. Okay. Now let me dive a little bit. When we have an equation like this, what does it really mean? Then we will come to this regions. Okay. All the regions. Option D is not there. We look at these options. Okay. So first understand part 5. They've given you x plus y is less than or equal to 9. Now first let me convert the inequality as equality. Convert inequality as equality means what? X plus y equal to 9. X plus y equal to 9 means what? Now this is a linear equation. Okay, normally when there is no coefficient, okay, or same coefficient which can be taken out as common and put here, the line will look like this. Okay, it is something like this. If I plot it on the, see, I am doing all this only to explain the concept to you. You don't have to do any of these things in the examination. After we do a couple of problems of this type, it is going to become so easy for you to identify which is the correct option in few seconds. That's why this chapter you can easily score marks, okay, provided you get the basics right. Now suppose x has got the value 0, then y will be 9. Suppose y is taking the value 0, x will be 9. How? Let me just show you here. Okay, suppose x is 0, then y is equal to 9. Same way, when y is 0, x will be 9, right? So that's how we are getting this. So if I'm plotting this on the x-axis and the y-axis, now see, both are positive. So let's say this is 0. Let's say the number 9 is here, 9 comma 0, and the number 9 is here, 0 comma 9. So if I just join these 2 points, normally these are lines which are such they pass through this way. So this is how the line looks like. Okay, so now that is what is given in the question. Now the question says it is less than or equal to 9. X plus y is less than or equal to 9. That is the region. X plus y is less than or equal to 9. So what you should do is just substitute 0 and 0 in both. Suppose x is also 0, y is also 0. Where is the region? Below. Correct? So if I substitute 0 here, I substitute 0 here, what I get is a 0. 0 is less than or equal to 9. Is it less than 9? True. Right? So the region is below the line. So which option should I select? I should select option A. Okay, below the region. This option C does not give you any region. This is above the line. Above the line means greater than or equal to 9 will be there. This is below the 9. And if they say equal to 9 without any less than or equal to symbol, it is only equal to 9, then you will select option C. Now in this case it is option A. Okay, next. I hope it was clear for you so far. Come to question number 6. Okay, 6 I am going to leave it for your self practice. Okay, come to question number next, that is question number 7. Let's go to this. The graph to express the inequality y is less than or equal to half x is indicated by which of the lines? Okay, let us go to question number 7. So we have done now questions where you have a line which is which is not passing through 0 comma 0, but now we are going to do a question where the line is passing through 0 comma 0. Normally many students have confusion only when it comes to these kind of questions. Okay, that is when you have questions where you have a line passing through this 0 comma 0. So let me go to this question number 7, and see what they have showing you here. So they have given you an inequality, y is less than or equal to half x. Let us write it here. Y is less than or equal to half x. So that half, if I take it here, it will become 2y. 2y is less than or equal to x. So suppose I have a column here. Now let me just do this table which I showed you in the previous question. If I show you x and if I have y, okay, if x takes the value 0, then y will also take the value 0. So it tells you that this is a line passing through the point 0 comma 0, through the origin. So that is why the option A is eliminated. This is not passing through the origin, so we eliminate this. Okay, let us go to the remaining options. Now if I choose the value 1, or rather not for x, I should choose the value for y as 1. If y is 1, then x becomes 2, and similarly if y is 2, x becomes 4. So see, x is always double of y, okay, or more than that. What does this symbol mean? When you convert this inequality to equality, what I am saying is x is equal to 2 times y. Okay, I am converting the inequality to equality. I am converting it. Now what is the meaning of this? This means that x is 2 times of y. X value is always double of y. And what does the inequality means? It is either double, x value is either double or more. So it means that either it can be 2 or greater than 3, 4. It should be minimum 2 or more than that. Here it could be 4, 5, 6 and so on. It could be anything greater than that. Okay. So now all of us know that it is passing through the origin. Now one more thing that we need to see here is we should also take a negative number. Then what is the value? Value is also negative. Okay, if I take -1, I get a -2 here. So which means, what are the values that I have? It is positive here, x is positive here, x is positive, y is, both are positive. In this quadrant, x is positive, y is negative. In this quadrant, x is negative, y is positive. In this quadrant, x is negative, y is also negative. So we have x negative, y negative, x positive, y positive. So which means this is a line which is passing through this way. Okay. Now not only that, we need to know whether it is above or below. Is it the above the region or below the region? Now look at the options. This is towards the y-axis, this is towards the x-axis. So for these kind of lines, we will say towards y-axis or towards the x-axis. Which one is true? Okay, I will just tell you a simple methodology. If you see, x will always be greater. Okay, it will be minimum 2 or more than 2. So it should go towards the x-axis. Okay, so the region is below. That is how you will ascertain it. Okay, so the region is below. Now similarly, I hope it is clear now. So the answer is option D. Okay, come to question number 8 now. 8 is also a question where they are giving you the region and asking you to identify which of the options is correct. So look at L1 and L2. L1 says 5x plus 3y is equal to 30. But where is the region? The region for L1 is above. Above means if I put 0 and 0 here, 0 and 0 less than or equal to 30 is satisfying. But is it less than or equal to 30? No. The region is above. If the region is above, the greater than or equal to symbol we have to put. So I will therefore eliminate option A. I am left with option B, C and D. Okay. So option B, the region is above. So if I put 0 and 0, 0 and 0, is it greater than or equal to 30? No, it is not equal to, it is not less than 30. It is more than 30. So it is false. Therefore, the region is above the line L1. Come to L2. In L2 again, if I substitute 0 and 0, 0 and 0, the region is below the line. Okay, 0 and 0 is less than 9. Is it true? Yes, it is true. So therefore the region is towards the x-axis. Okay, so which is again true. So which is also true in option B. Now this is true in option B but not in option C and D. So both C and D are eliminated. We are left with only option B. Now come to the third line. The third line is y is equal to x by 3. So we can write this as 3y. Okay. Now what is the symbol? Come to the line. Now coming to the line, you have the line L3. L3 is towards the y-axis. If it is towards the y-axis, then y is greater. That is what it means. It means that y is greater. And in this question, it was towards the x-axis, so x was greater. It is towards the y-axis, so y is greater. Correct? Which is the line? L3. L3, the region is above this line. It was towards the y-axis, so therefore it is y is greater. Now similarly the other equation is 2y and x. So here it is towards the x-axis, so x will be greater than or equal to y. So see, is it there in option B? Is 3y greater than or equal to? Yes. Is 2y less than or equal to x? Yes, all are true, so answer is option B. Of course, with the non-negativity constraint greater than or equal to 0, y is greater than or equal to 0. Here in this, the option, I think it is given as none of these, if I remember right. So please go back and check the options, but none of these is not correct. It is this option which is correct. Because if you are using this logic in this question, then it is applicable in this question also. Correct? So I think it's a typographical error. We need to choose option B here. Now coming back to the options. Let's come to question number 2. Question number 2 is our type 3 optimization problem, where there is a big problem given to you and then you are supposed to select the set of equations which are correct. See, one thing I'll tell you, in this optimization problem, first thing that we should have is a non-negativity constraint. Okay, mostly we will have questions where x and y cannot take a value less than 0. It cannot take a negative value. Therefore, it has to take a positive value only. So, if there is an option which does not have the non-negativity constraint, for example, option A, B and C. B and C of course don't have a non-negativity constraint. And option A does not have greater than or equal to 0. Should it not be greater than or equal to 0? Because x can also take the value 0 and y can also take the value 0. Therefore, A, B, C is eliminated. We go to option D directly. Okay, in this question it was so easy, but anyway I'll read through the question and solve the whole thing, so that in the examination if you have none of these also as the option, you will still be able to solve it. Okay, let us read it. A dietitian wishes to mix together two kinds of food so that the vitamin content of the mixture is at least 9 units of vitamin A. Okay, so this is not given in the table. I am going to tabulate this information. Okay, the vitamin content is 9 units of vitamin A, 7 units of vitamin B, 10 units of vitamin C and 12 units of vitamin D. The vitamin content per kg of each food, food 1 and food 2. Okay, so he wishes to mix two kinds of food. So if two kinds of food is available to you, you need to eat both the types of food. Okay, so that you get minimum of 9 units of vitamin A, minimum of 7 units of vitamin B, 10 units of vitamin C and 12 units of vitamin D. So let me write that. Okay, how much do you need? A, B, C and D, minimum of these vitamins, you need minimum. Always food, no, you need to have minimum. Let's just write down the numbers. 9, 7, 10 and 12. 9, 7, 10 and 12. You need minimum of so much. Okay. So which means that if you consume food 1 and food 2, if I am going to consume x units of food 1 and y units of food 2, this is how I am going to assume. Okay, x units of food 1 and y units of food 2, then I have to consume it in such a way that I get minimum 9 units of A, minimum 7 units of B, minimum 10 units of C and minimum 12 units of D. Okay, let's come back. And this is the next interesting table that is given to us. Food 1 contains the vitamin content per kg. Okay, if you take 1 kg of X, you will have 2 units of A. Okay, and 1 unit of A in food 2. So you're going to have both. So suppose you're going to consume X units, okay, then what happens is you will have minimum 2 units of vitamin A. And if you take Y together, so X and Y both if you take together, you should have minimum of 9 units of vitamin A. This I am looking at only vitamin A. So greater than or equal to, all the symbols should be greater than or equal to. Okay, so like this, if we keep going to the other options, so I told you we have eliminated all option A, B and C. We are straight away with option D. So see, is it true? Yes. Now come to the second set. In the second set, what happens? X plus Y is greater than or equal to 7. Okay, X plus 2Y is greater than or equal to 10 units of vitamin C. Okay, then 2x plus 3y is greater than or equal to 12. All are satisfying, so answer is option D. So that is why I keep saying these optimization problems, although they may look really big, lot of data and all that, but selecting the option was so easy for you. So if you're going to get a question like this in the examination, and very often from this chapter, this optimization type of problems only come. That is what I've seen in the past. So you can get straight 1 mark into your pocket. Okay. So with this, I'm going to leave these questions for your self-practice. And you have any doubts, you can please come back. So these are all, I've covered all these types of questions. Okay, the region is all covered. So again, you have the optimization problem here, the region question which we have done. So all these questions we have covered. So there are only totally 10 questions in this exercise. So please practice and do come back for any kind of doubts.